Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the one and only Zebec network. Now, we're going to be talking about a few things we can see here, ladies and gentlemen. This person, right, Andy, Shadow Andy L, asked Grok to analyze the recovery on Zebec compared to the top 20 alts slash blue chips. And we can see, right, coin top 20 alt recovery percentage low to current difference versus Zbec. So we can see, ladies and gentlemen, a bunch of nice coins here, right? A lot of heavy hitters. We have Caspa, ICP, Matic, Near, ADA, right? Some other ones as well, XRP, Solana. And we can see recovery percentage from low to current. Zbec is up 40%, BNB up 10%, Solana 15%, right? We can see these different types of numbers, most of them in the mid teens, I would say. We have Sheep at 25%. Because, yeah, most of them are around the mid teens, maybe a little bit higher, mid teens to 20s, let's just say. And we can see, right, difference from Zbec, absolutely huge, right? Minus 30%, minus 25%, minus 26%, minus 23%, minus 28%, minus 15%. I mean, the list goes on. It's like the mid 20s practically. And like I said, these are very, very big comparisons, ladies and gentlemen. And you have to just realize, logically speaking, these top cryptos, right? These cryptos that have a lead on us in terms of market cap and exposure and just being in the markets for longer, even institutional play and etc., whatever it may be, right? Because there's a bunch of coins here. They really should be recovering much better and much quicker. And that's just the reality, right? Like, especially something like, for example, if we take in like XRP should be doing way better, like way, way better. So this is actually a very, very good sign, ladies and gentlemen. Zbec was practically one of the coins where it kind of went back to a similar price that look at the price right now. We're at 0.004, right? Last time we were there was on the 4th, sure, like a week ago. But it's not a crazy dip when you really, really think about it. It's kind of just in the middle of the damn range we have been in the last month or so, anyways, right? When we take a look at this, right? This is pretty much more or less, I would say, the main range. You could debate a little bit higher, but we're like kind of right in the middle of it, maybe 5% lower. But like, look, right? Not much has changed. It like, you know, other coins, when we look at it, let's just see something like XRP. Where's XRP on my thing right here? Boom, right? XRP is doing a little bit better. Caspa is still kind of struggling. Caspa is still down a good amount. Or if we take it from here to here, it's still down like that 20%. Render is doing decent. Xcn is kind of doing okay, but we can see like in general, we are just doing better, and there's a reason, right? There's a reason. I mean, look, ICP is struggling fairly a lot compared to a lot of other cryptos, right? It's still down like 21, 22%. When we go to something like Zebec, right? If we even take it from the top here, we're probably down. You know what? Yeah, let's take it from the top here, even though that's not technically where we dumped. We should be down like maybe like what? Okay, that is a good amount, but that's not where we technically started to dump. It was somewhere over here. We're down 12%. So the ratios are overall just better. Things are looking greater for us. The candle closes in general look very, very healthy for us, which we're going to be discussing later. So, you know, there's a reason why, ladies and gentlemen, people are very, very high on Zbec. We can see 10 hours ago, someone dropped $126,000 on Zbec. When we continue to scroll, ladies and gentlemen, there's something I wanted to show you guys, right? Because there was actually a lot of transactions that were being made in recent times. And we can see, right? 200,000, 212,000, 106,000, 178,000, 98,000, and even the other purchases, 42,000, 42,000, 35, 36, 20, 20, 44, 20, 40, 23, 21, 20, 20, 20K, right? Lots of transfers, lots of amazing transfers. So we can see, right? People are pumping in money in Zbec. People are accumulating. Um, Someone claims that they're going official. Now, I haven't seen anything. Ripple, XRP, and Zbec is finally going to make an official partnership announcement soon? Question mark. Oh yeah, the rumors are still true. We are flirting with the idea with Ripple and Zebec being together. I mean, it just makes the most amount of sense. There is a decent amount of evidence. I mean, we showed it, just probably a week ago, a couple months ago, ladies and gentlemen. There was exclusive rewards for XRP holders. You could have chosen any other crypto in the world. There is like a 9,500 other active cryptos that Zbek could have chosen. Of course, the bottom would never get chosen, but the point still stands. There's so many cryptos that we could have had exclusive rewards with, and it was just XRP. It was just XRP that got chosen. And you know me, I'm super, super high when it comes to evidence. All right. For me, I really value evidence. And yeah, 86,000 holders is also what we hit. A new record, ladies and gentlemen. Zbec has been crushing it. When we go and even look at the last couple of days, we practically have gone up 1,000 holders within yeah, let's just say within a week. So very, very nice considering there was a lot of panic selling going on as well, right? With the whole big drop on Friday, Saturday obviously being a little bit slow, Sunday being decent. So just fantastic. Fantastic from Zebek as usual. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, overall in the last month, we are down 3.25%. Not too much. In the last 7 days, 15%, which is pretty good considering, like I said, we just took a big hit of like 40 to 50%, on that Friday. In the last day, we're up 7%. We're ranked 134 out of 9,511 active cryptos. And like I said, we're going to be pushing for that top 100. Now, I do think it's going to be a little bit of a tug of war, a little back and forth before we really burst into the top 100. But for Zbec, all it takes is going to, that one partnership, that next move to the upside, because like we've been talking about for some time, Zebec has truly been holding its own. Even even before the big dip, right? We talked about how Zebec is just kind of somewhere in the middle, right? Kind of somewhere in the middle. And the thing is, it just pumped not too long ago, and it's still holding like the middle ground of this whole coin. While other coins, from their tops, they were like down here, right? The equivalent of being down here. So for us, truly, it was something amazing. And, the Friday dump as well. We went down once again, I think roughly within that hour, I think it was like 40% or something. Yeah, 40%. Now, obviously, that's a lot, but you got to realize something like Caspo is literally down 86%, and I value Caspo a lot. Other cryptos were down 75 to 85% as well. Like most of them were. You got to realize something like XRP took a big hit as well. I mean, within that hour, it went from 270 practically to 75 cents. It went down 72%. A big Titan, the top four crypto, right? Top four crypto just went down 75%. So you got to realize we really are just holding our own. And I just don't know what else I can say other than the evidence is right there in front of us, right? For me, Coinbase is going to be inevitable. For me, Binance is going to be inevitable. We saw how Kraken, was accumulating positions before, and then now we have Kraken listing. We know Coinbase has a lot of Zbec. We know Binance has a lot of Zbec. So it's just right there in front of us, right? Obviously, we don't have that confirmation technically, but like I said, you have to go based off evidence in life, not proof, because proof is after the fact. And if you want to be ahead, you have to just look at heavy evidence, and you just have to always have that little bit of faith, that extra couple of percent. You just need it to be faith. And that's just the reality, right? That is just the reality. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, things are looking good. Things are looking solid. I'm really, really excited to see how everything plays out. Even on the weekend, we had 26 million volume. Volume has been consistently higher the last few days. Of course, there was that big dump, but even then, it was still like 30 million volume, which is not that crazy. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with the new exchange listing, um, I expect more volume. And the crazy thing is, I just realized actually we are not technically. It's going to be out on the 15th. I forgot it's out on the 15th. So we're just getting natural, like just more volume, just naturally, which is good because when Kraken is going to be officially released, we're probably going to be hitting the mid 30s to 40s consistently in volume. That is what I expect. And that's a very, very good look, ladies and gentlemen, right? That is a very, very good look. We're roughly at 400 million market cap with 26 million volume. If we go to something like Caspa, I wonder what Caspa's at. Caspa is having roughly what? Roughly like 3.5 times more volume, but they are also much bigger than us, right? They are also much bigger than us. Let's see something like ICP. Let me go to look at ICP. I can't believe ICP doesn't pop up when I just write IC. So yeah, again, they are roughly also 4 times more. They do have a decent ratio. Well, ladies and gentlemen, overall things are looking good. Things are looking great. Do we compare it to a meme coin? I'm just gonna compare it to a meme coin for the fun of it, but in general, I don't like comparing, these type of coins to meme coins too much. Yeah, look, Toshi, damn, Toshi fell off a little bit. I mean, it was always it's just a meme coin at the end of the day. But look at this volume that Toshi has just naturally, right? High volume. This is a meme coin, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you guys in the last video that Toshi hit like 800 million volume, and we're gonna be hitting those numbers. Trust me, we're going to be hitting those numbers because, ladies and gentlemen, especially if that XRP partnership comes, especially if we get more financial, institutional play into Zebec, the volume is going to be extremely high because there's going to be consistent money in and out of Zebec. And, ladies and gentlemen, I just super high on Zebec network this year. Or just not even this year, but just in general, like 100x is really not that crazy. 37 billion market cap is really not that crazy for the coin, and that would be 41 cents. I truly do believe 100x is possible. Like I know how that sounds like, especially that we're in the hundreds of millions of market cap, but like, what is 37 billion market cap in the peak of crypto? With crypto being adopted everywhere, with it being a real world asset crypto, being a DeFi crypto, being innovation, being the like one of the most anticipated cryptos to do well. We are literally, like I said, holding our own and doing much better than most of these top cryptos. So like I said, 100x is really not that crazy. Minimum should be 10 billion this cycle, which I still think that would be probably underwhelming. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is ultimately it. We can see we don't even have that many exchange listings either. We really don't. There's still so much more upside. This is just truly the start. I tell you, this is just truly the start. Quarter four should be a banger, right? We anticipate a lot of big deals and things to be done by the time quarter four is finished. So yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.